Hi, welcome to Pulled Into Letting Go. I'm Mandy Torado. I just got out of the shower and my hair's a little funky. I debated whether or not to make this video. I wasn't going to make it, but I thought that the few people who do watch my channel consistently have a right to know what's going on. I can't tell you a lot. All I can tell you is that my family's in crisis mode, and it's nothing Anthony and I or the kids did. We're all physically okay. We would love your prayers. That would be awesome. And for legal reasons, and again, Anthony and I and the kids are not in any legal trouble or anything like that. But for legal reasons, I can't right now say what's going on. And it could be up to a year before I can tell you. So I just ask for you to be really patient with me. And because of all this stuff going on behind the scenes that I just don't feel would be a good idea to talk about. Nobody's told me not to talk about it, but I'm using my God-given wisdom here. And I just feel that it would be a good idea not to. So it could be like a year. I don't know before I can tell you. I will tell you, I'm all red because I got my tooth out. It was way back in here. I got it out on Wednesday. And now I just have that like dull, achy pain in my jaw from it being like wide open for an hour while he drilled out the tooth. But I feel so much better. So thank y'all for praying for me about that. Now I'm just all red, but I'm surprised. Normally I bruise really bad. Like when I had my wisdom teeth out, I was like bruised all down in here for like 2.5 weeks. It was awful. And so I warned all the ladies at church, hey, I don't want to scare you, but because of the dental work, I'm probably going to be all like purple and black and blue on Sunday. And it was done 2 days ago, and so far I'm just red and rosy, but that part of that could be from the shower too. So, but anyway, all this to say, hi, I can't tell you anything. Just pray for us. So, I will tell you that I feel like this is, and I'm not the only one, I feel like this is spiritual warfare. And we have a large group of prayer warriors around us, very faithful prayer warriors around us, supporting us. We've got a lot of great support. And I am so deeply grateful for that. And I had a dream a few nights ago. Well, let me backtrack before I tell you about the dream. So I was in my Bible reading and I did my daily devotional, had my beautiful, beautiful prayer time. It was wonderful. It was full of the Spirit. And I got to a place where I was at peace, and then I kept going and went deeper and deeper and deeper. And if you've ever done that, it's amazing what God can do in that time for you, in you, through you. Anyway, so when I finished that, I had just had this super strong urge to pick up my Bible and open it up. Just trust God and just open it. And I opened it to the book of Daniel, and I read all but like the last 2 chapters because this was getting pretty late at night for me. So it was like 9-10 o'clock, and for me that's late. I'm like ready to fall asleep by then. Anyway, so I read most of it through, and for me, Daniel has always been, since I was like a teenager, it's been a promise to me from God about the type of man that I would marry. And there's a long backstory to that. I won't get into it today. So I thought, okay, cool. As we're going through this crisis, Anthony's going to be like the backbone, right? Like he's really going to step up and protect us. I mean, not that he doesn't anyway, but at first that's what I assumed God was trying to tell me by having me, I'm in a rocking chair. I'm sorry if it's annoying. But I thought that that's what God was trying to tell me by sending me to the book of Daniel. And then I fell asleep, and I had the absolute most beautiful dream I think I've ever had. And it was this dream of this huge, beautiful house. It was pure white, and inside and outside. Except for like all the wood finishes, like the stairwell, or the stair railing, and the stairs were like this dark, beautiful, like, I want to say walnut, pretty dark brown wood. And so it was just gorgeous, and it was huge, and it was open and airy and beautiful, and lots of windows and lots of natural light, and it was just gorgeous. And there were a lot of plants and things inside, and there was some antique furniture that I guess the old owners had just left strewn about in the house, but it was beautiful, well-made, solid wood antique furniture. And it was kind of messy inside, cobwebs and some dirt and dust from, that's normal in a building that's been vacant for a while. And so Anthony and I and the kids, we got super excited, and we were like, this is the house that we want to buy. And so we started cleaning it up a little bit, and we were just sure that this was going to be our house. Well, some people came on the porch, on the front porch. Sorry, I'm trying to remember the sequence of events because it was a couple days ago. Some people came on the porch, and they wanted to buy the house too. And we're like, oh, no, sorry, this is going to be our house. Like, we're just super confident. But we hadn't even talked to the realtor, hadn't made an offer or anything yet in this dream. And the neighbors next door were these super rich neighbors and were really snooty. And they were like, I can't believe that the last owners are selling that property. I can't believe that these hillbilly rednecks are here walking through this house thinking that they're going to be our neighbors. Like, they're not good enough. And just on, and like nitpicking us and just saying really awful things. And they don't have enough money. They can never afford this. They're not good enough. We don't want them as neighbors. And the people on the porch were like, yeah, we want this house. We have more money. We can make an offer. Like, we can actually afford this. And my husband kept looking at me and my kids too. And they're like, how are we going to afford this? They're right. Like, we just can't do it. And I just kept telling them over and over, like, this is our house. And then at one point, I looked at my husband, and the realtor had finally come in at this point, and I was like, something in me clicked, and I was like, this was my grandmother's house. Like, this was the house that she grew up in. And all of a sudden I had like all these pictures proving it in my pocket. And so I started showing the realtor, and she was like, oh, okay. Because she was kind of lukewarm about helping us at first, but then I pull out these pictures and I'm like convincing her, like, this is my house. Like, I remember my grandma saying, I'm supposed to have this house. Like, I don't even have to buy it. Like, this is a free gift that she has given me. And the realtor was like, okay, well, if that's true, we need to find like the hidden deed or the will or something. Like, I really want to help you. But again, we have these people on the porch and they have the money they can pay. Like, if we can't find this, I'm sorry, there's nothing else I can do for you, but I will help you. And so we started walking around the house, and all of a sudden the ceiling got lower. And there was this like exposed beam, and there was like this weird strip of tape on the exposed beam where it like was meeting a different level of the ceiling. I don't know how to explain it. And I was like, I think that's tape up there. And it was like really thick tape. And I'm like, I think that's tape up there. I'm going to pull it. And so I started pulling it, and I got about halfway, and out dropped this folded up like big wad of paper. And everybody gets so excited. We're like, that's it. That's the deed. She found it. Like, how did you find that? But that's it. And then all of a sudden the realtor was like, okay, everybody clear out. This is their house. And so we like all start celebrating, and we start walking up the stairs, and we get to like the third or fourth floor. Like, this is a huge, like Donald Trump type mansion house. Like, it's huge. And we get up to like the third or fourth, I want to say it was like 4 floors, and it was like a rooftop like balcony, but it was like huge. And up there was, everything was in white, unless it was the dark brown walnut type wood that was polished, which was weird because it was a vacant house. But we get up there anyway, And there's this huge table and chairs, and it's big enough for everybody that we know to sit at, like everybody we know to sit at. And we're looking out over the city, and we're looking at like parks and trees and the ocean and gardens and flowers and people milling about and cars, but it was so absolutely beautiful. And then we were like celebrating up there for a few minutes, and then we walked back downstairs to the ground floor. And all of a sudden, our house has turned into like this huge fair. And we've invited all the neighbors and everybody we know. And it's super extravagant. Like, there's this area where we're just giving away like gold necklaces and, ooh, get off my glasses, Neil. Ouch. Get down. And we're giving away like gold and silver necklaces, but they're like hanging down, and you get to walk through like this pathway. Sorry, my dogs are being nuts. And just like reach up and pick the ones that you want. And there's like carnival games and fair games, and everybody is playing and having a good time. And people are talking about like how rich my family is and how much they're surprised by, how wealthy we are and how much we have to give away to others and how generous we are. And then like the fair ends, it's kind of like cut screen. I don't know, because I don't know if your dreams are like that, but then it's like in the evening time, and my kids are running home from school, like down the street towards the house, and they run inside. And that's kind of where the dream ends, where I'm like super happy and content, and I know my kids are safe and everything's going well at that point. And so I woke up from the dream, and I started to pray and ask the Lord what the dream meant. And before I even got to the end of it, of my prayer, God said, I am going to restore everything that you have lost and more. I am going to bless you in front of your enemies. I am going to end this generational curse that's been going on and all this pain that you've been going through. I am ending it. Like it's going to take a little while. There's going to be some things that you need to do to end it, but you can do it. You will. And everything is going to be set right in your family. And I guess that's kind of a clue that, yes, we are ending a generational curse right now and a lot of pain from the past. And that's all I'm comfortable saying. But I just woke up super empowered and with a lot of faith that we are going to make it through this, and everything is going to be better in the end than it has been. And I am excited. I am told that this could be a long process. Like it could be like a year or more. And so we just have to like hold tight, and there may be a few hiccups in there, but it's going to work out. It's what others meant for evil, God will use for our good, and no weapon formed against my family will prosper. So I'm excited. So I'm going to have to be really careful, and I'm choosing to be really careful to protect my family and just protect the investigation and everything that's going on, to not hinder it. I'm going to be really, really careful about what I talk about. So I'm not going to be talking about myself or my past so much. I may just touch on like topics in the news or things that I think are relevant, but the videos are definitely going to probably slow down for a little bit. I'm sorry, I don't have any definite answers, but I still enjoy making them, and I enjoy talking to you guys, and I really love sharing my faith and my testimony. But again, I just have to be super careful for a bit. So, but we are good. We are good. So anyway, I will end it here, and I will just remind you that I love you, but more importantly, God loves you.